Welcome back. Flat screen TVs are definitely the new in TV to have. I thought I was on top of my game even just knowing this, but apparently there are two different main kinds of flat screen TVs available. Who knew? Our tech host Lou did, and he is going to come and explain the difference to us. Welcome, Lou.
Hey, Catherine, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
You all right?
Yeah, but fill me in. I clearly don't know as much about flat screen TVs as I thought.
Yeah.
So plasma and LCD, what do each of these mean? What should I buy? What's the difference?
Well, you know what? The choice of which TV to buy is, of course, entirely up to you.
Okay.
Unless you have me to guide you.
All right, let's do it.
Generally, it is up to you.
Okay.
Now, we're going to look at two main categories here. We're going to look at LCD and plasma.
Okay.
There is an LED, but let's not go into that because it's the newest one and it's a bit on the expensive side in relation.
Okay.
All right, so if you're looking for more bang for your buck.
Yes, definitely.
They say.
Always,
Yes,
always.
let's look at LCDs and plasma.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's kick off with plasma first.
Perfect.
Now I'm going to run you through the advantages and disadvantages.
Okay.
All right. Now the plasma TV advantages in comparison to LCD, of course.
Yep.
Number one, they have a higher contrast ratio.
Colors?
Exactly. Oh, you're good.
I'm learning as we go along every week.
Yes. Oh, tech you are.
Yes.
Exactly. Basically, contrast ratio, like you said, colors, and it's how the colors are in relation to each other.
Okay.
So they have better contrast.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And therefore, plasma TVs have richer colors. All right? And another thing, something that's very, very important is they have deeper blacks and whiter whites. So blacker blacks and whiter whites.
Okay. Sounds
all right?
good.
In comparison to LCDs, of course.
Perfect.
All right. They also have better motion tracking.
Are you assuming I don't know what motion tracking means?
I am.
Well, no, I don't. So
Okay.
explain.
So, basically, motion tracking. Hey, stop laughing over there. Motion tracking is when you have something fast moving in the screen, it displays it better.
Okay.
All right. So if you like your Top Gear, the show, you know, the car show.
Yeah.
All right. So it's better, and for sports as well.
Okay.
So generally, plasma would generally be a better option than LCD.
Makes sense.
All right. Also, they are more available in larger sizes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are more available in a lot larger size than you'd find in LCD.
Bigger screens.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sounds
So
good.
there you go. These are the advantages of plasma.
All right, perfect. Now, that sounds really good, but like anything, I'm sure there are going to be some disadvantages, so let's hear them.
Yes. And actually, off the record, I'm a huge LCD fan.
I could tell. I did pick up on that vibe. All right.
So I'm gonna list the plasma TV disadvantages with a bit more passion.
Okay.
All
let's
right.
get into it.
Now, basically, they tend to generate more heat. Plasma TVs tend to generate more heat, and therefore
Consume more power.
exactly.
Jack up your hydro bill.
Catherine,
equal
you're
you
good.
being
I'm
sad.
impressed.
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed.
Thank you.
And they don't perform as well in higher altitudes. Let's say you have a cabin in the Alps.
All right.
Don't go for a plasma.
Okay.
All right. And because
Not really relevant to me, but I'm
yes,
sure some of our
somebody
viewers
out there, I'm sure.
maybe.
So, and because the screen is made of a more shiny material than LCDs, they tend to have more glare.
Glare.
Yep, exactly. So
I
when
hate
there's
glare.
yes, so
So
when there's
annoying.
light shining in the room, they tend to reflect a bit more than that.
Okay.
All right. And they are heavier in weight and therefore more delicate to ship than LCDs.
Okay.
All right. And finally, they are more susceptible to burn-in.
And we actually have our resident professor, Dr. MacGyver, here, who's going to explain to us a little bit about what burn-in means.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm Dr. MacIver, not MacGyver. That man convinced you he can make a parachute out of a paper bag and a teaspoon. Definitely no relation. Now, the term burning means if you leave the same image on the screen for too long, a shadow or outline of that image might be burnt into the screen forever. But this is not as much of a factor now due to technology improvements in the past few years.
Aha! That's the TV I have at home. My brother would always scold me if I left it on for too long unattended, and I never understood what the big deal was.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right, now I get it. Now, how about the LCD? How does that measure up?
Okay, my personal favorite, like I said, I kept that pretty quiet. Like I said, LCDs. All right, now, LCD advantages in comparison to plasma. Number one, no burn-in.
I like the sound of that.
It's a good thing to
It's a good
have.
one,
You know
right?
what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, burn-in happens when, let's say, you have a logo that's there constantly, of
Right.
course, of a channel, or
Right.
you know. Number 2, cooler running, therefore
Less power
less
consumption.
power consumption. There you go. Now, again, screen glare, because LCDs are made of a more matte material in
Yes.
comparison to plasma shiny material, they have less screen glare.
I do like that. That's a big one for me.
That
I
is,
really
that
hate
is a big
glare.
one, actually.
Okay.
And they are, again, if you ever think of buying a cabin in the Alps,
Maybe one day.
go for an LCD because they work better in higher altitudes. Okay, and they generally tend to have a longer life than plasmas.
Well, that's a pretty big one,
That
right?
is
That's
a big
kind of
one,
important.
actually. And they look better in brightly lit rooms because
Okay.
of the glare.
Right.
And also, LCD televisions have made great improvements in increasing the pixel resolution.
What does that mean? Pixel
Exactly.
resolution?
Now, you'll get a lot of TVs that give you full HD.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about HD?
Yes.
Ah,
last
high
week.
definition.
Yeah.
All right. And a lot of them are offering full 1080p resolution.
Okay, so full HD, basically.
Full HD. And
Great.
of course, Dr. McIver will explain to us what it is.
Pixel resolution. Dr. McIver, take it away.
Hello again. Image resolution refers to how much detail an image can hold. Basically, resolution quantifies how close lines can be to each other and still be visible. Image resolution can be measured in different ways. Resolution units can be tied to physical size, example, lines per millimeter or lines per inch, or to the overall size of a picture. Now, in digital imaging, which is the case here, the term resolution is often used for a pixel count. Now, the pixel is the smallest addressable screen element. They are thousands of tiny squares on your computer or TV screen that come together to make a digital image. A pixel is the smallest unit of a picture that can be controlled individually. And by the way, Romaine, I can always make it last.
Okay, well, after hearing all of that, I kind of like the sound of LCD, but let's hear the disadvantages.
Yes. And one thing, LCDs are lighter as well.
Okay.
So you can hang them a lot easier on a wall. All right?
That's a good one, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, there are disadvantages to LCDs as well.
Okay.
All right? But what the disadvantages are more of what the plasma can do in comparison.
Yes.
So, number 1, lower contrast ratio than plasma, therefore less rich colors.
All right.
All right? The deep blacks are not as deep
Yep.
as plasmas.
Whites are not as white.
Yep. Motion tracking isn't as good, although they are improving that nowadays with
Okay.
technology.
All right.
Now, even though LCD TVs don't suffer from burn-in as plasma TVs, it is possible for pixels to burn out, individual pixels to burn out.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that.
Yes, so
Not
but
good.
they're tiny. You know that.
All
You know how small a
right.
pixel is.
I
It's
know,
really
you
small.
love your LCD.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
okay.
okay. It's nothing to worry about.
Okay, okay.
And finally, the same size screen, large size screen on an LCD tends to be a bit more expensive than on the plasma.
All right, all right. So you've definitely given me some good points to consider. I think I'm going to have to go to the store and, check out which would
Exactly.
be best for my budget. So I will
Exactly.
definitely do that. Thanks so much,
Exactly.
Lou.
No problem.
After the break, we're going to talk about what to do if your laptop is overheating. Stay tuned.